Welcome to King Said So, Africa's one land, one language, one currency, one army on King Said So. Africans can unite. Your Pan-Africanist podcast. Enjoy.
It really was not the first letter, and I don't think it is the last letter. Just a letter to write, related to work. That's why I'm saying I'm taking personal responsibility of that letter, and I stand by it. Now, with identifying those three matters, but the reason why I couldn't call General Masimula, called General Mkhwanazi, called General Khumalo to my home or elsewhere is because the finality of engaging on that matter came in that particular form in the last days of the year. So if you ask me, why not when we were together, I had not concluded. I'm honest about it. I make an effort to be honest all the time. I may not reach highest levels, but I always try to be honest. There was no one, and I would want even the ad hoc committee, if you want, to take the gadget that I used, if they will not have taken it, to go and search whether that doesn't originate from there, and I trust technology. It can do. I will hand it over to the ad hoc committee. You will never find it having originated anywhere else. It originated from, and I was sitting alone at home. But there were other people like my wife, they were there, my children were there. I'm not meaning. But when I wrote, it was written by me, it was sent and to two other people. So don't be under any illusion, no matter how serious it is said, no matter who says so. It was written by me, that letter.
Peace in Pan-Africanism to all my African brothers and sisters from all around the world. Welcome back to King Said So. I'm your host, Kagiso Hlongwane, host in Chiva Sono. And we're back at it again with another one. And this time around, we are covering the day one of the suspended Minister of Police, Senzo Mchunu. And I must say the man came very prepared. Before we jump into that, please make sure you send your 50 Rand donation to the Pan-African School of Economics, Technology and Agriculture. We appreciate the 50 Rand and the contributions that are coming in each and every day. I think yesterday we got like 3 contributions. So thank you so much. We really appreciate it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's not stop. I did say that the building project is on hold for now. They are continuing on Monday. There's something that I need to address personally there. So everything is on hold up until I get to Kimberley today. So I will address it, and then on Monday the guys will continue working and then finishing the project that they are busy with. Thank you so much, guys. So let me get into this. Senzo Mchunu, number one, speaks with confidence. He was fumbling here and there, but the man speaks with confidence. He's a man that says, listen, this is what I did and I'm standing on what I did. The first thing is, did he write the letter and why he wrote the letter? So he explained it properly. And remember, he's saying, you guys can take my gadget, you can take my laptop and go and check if the document that we are talking about, the letter that was distributed on when was it? 31 December, was indeed formulated from my laptop. And if that is then been found that to be true, then it means that General Mkhwanazi lied to the nation by saying a group of people came together and wrote that letter. That is what General suspended Minister Mchunu is saying. He's saying, listen, I wrote the letter, I disbanded it. Listen, the task team was formed in 2018, and on 2022, it was extended. It was supposed to be stopped, but it was extended. Now it was operating on an extended fund. He says, listen, we are now spending a lot of money from 2022 to 2020. to 2025. And he's saying the political task team, he had to have a political, intervention. He had to intervene politically because of the money that was being spent there. It was not an interference, but it was an intervention according to what Senzo Mchunu was saying. And I found it very interesting to say now, some people are going to sit back and say, Mkhwanazi was right, but that is where we are going now. People are going to start saying, yeah, Mkhwanazi was right, but Senzo Mchunu also has a point. Sibiya also has a point. Masimula also has a point. We're going to go in circles and in circles. Like I said, after everything is said and done, the question will then be, can these gentlemen continue to work together, yes or no? Can they work? Because I think General Mkhwanazi is going to come to a realization to say, I can't fight the system alone, and I can't keep putting other people in danger in a fight of a system that we are not going to win. I think Mkhwanazi is going to come to that realization also. That is why you see military coups, because they know they can't fight the system fair and square, in commission, in committees, in courts, in a legal way. It is almost impossible to beat this system of the cartel that is we have found ourselves in as South Africans. So Senzo Mchunu, we're having an issue of constitutional power and the division that we're having right now. All the responsibilities that are bestowed on a minister, on a national commissioner, on a provincial commissioner, is the things that we are getting to understand as South Africans, to say who has what responsibility and what's not. So Senzo Mchunu did type the letter. He says the reason that he typed the letter is because of the money and everything. And another reason that he was saying, he says, listen, political task killing team is not new people coming from nowhere. You are moving them from certain responsibilities in the police force, and you are making them focus on this specific thing, which is political task killing, and also the royal, the chiefs and whatever, the royal house, the traditional killings, excuse me. So those people will be focusing there. He says when those people focus there, other jobs are not being done because these people are fully focused on this one. And he's saying we could not continue with that because we have to take these people back to their roles that they have been having. Oh my goodness. So, and he says, besides that, there are other task teams that are doing the same job as political task killing team. And I was like, this guy really has us. He says, you can feel good about the political task killing team, but you have to, at one point, close it. Listen to this.
You may feel good about the National Political Killings Task Team. It has done work. It's fine. But you can't keep on relegating the majority of people in South Africa and focus on councillors and amakhosi. Not because they must die, but you are saying, what morality, what ethics? I'll come to that at the end.
And here's another point that I think Mchunu has got. Some South Africans are going to think, okay, he's making a point. He says, you may feel good that the political task killing team is doing a good job. They are arresting the dockets. They're doing a good job. He's not even disputing that fact. He's saying, but you can't relegate the rest of South Africa because chiefs, royal, traditional people are getting killed, politicians are getting killed, and say, let's ignore what is happening in the Cape Flats. Let's take all our money and put it, not all our money, let's take most of our money and put it into the killings for politicians. Hey! When he said that, I was like, oh, Mchunu is clever. And that's a point also. If me and you, my sister, my brother, your father, your mother, your sister gets killed, and police can allocate enough resources to your father and your mother, your brother and your sister getting killed, because most of the funds are going and focusing on political killings and also traditional killings, how must you and I feel? It means their lives are better than the rest of South Africans' lives. That's the point that the minister is trying to make here. That's the point that he's making. And it's a valid point. You can then not relegate the rest of South Africa to say, okay, South Africa, the political task killing team, why am I fumbling that? Task killing team is doing a good job. They are doing very well. And that is why we cannot solve crime in Soweto. That's why we cannot solve crime in Langa, in Mitchell's Play, in Khayelitsha, in Kimberley, in wherever. It's because most of our money is going to these people. I'm not sure how you guys feel about that. So, yeah, it's like we think that the political task killing team will compete the jobs and there will never be any killings to the police. I mean, the politician, and there will never be killings in the traditional space. It's not possible. They will continue being. It's like saying the police will solve crime and there will never be crime again. There's no such thing. Which country has solved crime and there's no more killings? There's no more. People get murdered all the time. I'm not saying we must give up, but I'm saying just because you are focusing on politicians does not mean the rest of South Africa must suffer. And that's the point that the minister is making. So many things that the minister has said on day one. Day two is coming through, and I'm like, they have raided Brian Mkhwanazi as house. Also, he says tomorrow he's somewhere in Joburg. He'll go to Senton to go and report his gadgets. There looks like they are looking for his gadgets. I'm just putting that one in. But of course, it can never ever be an ad hoc committee without Julius Sello Malema coming and making a comment, especially against the PA or against the MK political party. And Julius Malema is back, of course, and now he's making his contributions. I want us to listen to this back and forth between the MK and the economic freedom fighters.
Is going to dominate us here, thinking you're going to speak things we won't respond to. We're going to respond to. If you are challenged and the mind is feeling pain now, it's none of our problem. If your party send people with weak minds and concentration span, it's the party's problem. It's not our problem. Listen, the minister is talking now.
No, let me rule you out.
No, Chair, no, let's address that behavior.
No,
let's address that behavior.
I'm ruling.
No, let's address that hooliganism. Let's address that hooliganism.
I'm ruling the statement.
No, let's address that hooliganism, Chair.
Yeah, but
let's address that hooliganism.
Let me speak
first. Let's address that hooliganism. Yeah. We're not scared of the man. Yeah, we can address him.
Honorable number.
If we are scared of him, we're not scared of him.
Honorable number.
Let's address him.
Honorable number. There is no way I will not allow you to speak. I'm ruling that statement out of order. It's what I'm saying. It does not belong here. It's unfortunate that it has to be made, and I'm ruling it out. So now I give you a chance to speak.
I withdraw, Chair.
You have made a progressive ruling, Chair. Thank you very much.
Let me tell you something, South African. Nothing is going to come out of this ad hoc committee. Let me just remind you, because if we don't remind ourselves that we were going to put our hopes very high, very, very little is going to come out of this ad hoc committee. That we must remember, and it must be at the back of our minds. Don't expect major arrests. Don't expect people to lose their jobs. Expect that Senzo Mchunu is going to go back to his job. Expect that. Expect it, South Africans. At the end of the day, Cyril Ramaphosa is going to make a decision. I know for the ad hoc committee, they are writing to Parliament and they can take some actions and whatever, but those actions must end in court, all of them. All of those actions must end in court. And yeah, for me, I just wanted to remind you guys, don't think that anything is going to come out of this, because everyone is making a valid point according to their views and whatever, and those views must be challenged, and the evidence must be challenged in a courtroom, not in a committee in parliament or in a Matlanga commission. It must be challenged. When the report is done and the recommendations are done, it must be challenged in court. It must be. So that's all I'm going to say. With Julius Malema, well, Julius Malema did withdraw the statement, laughing and making it a joke. I think he was just pressing the numbers of the MK political party, because they were like, hey man, the minister is talking too long and we are now forgetting what question is he addressing. And I think they were in their right to say that you must speak, because even in some questions, Julius Malema himself, he said, no, you minister, you did not answer the question. You spoke, but you did not answer the question. So he also said that. I think there's now a thin line that Julius Malema must toe, in terms of there is a chairperson, and it might sound to other people that don't like him that he's trying to chair the committee from the floor. He's trying to chair. There is a chairperson. The chairperson is so far doing a good job. So far, Mr. Mkhwanazi is doing a good job, and it must not look like Julius Malema. Julius Malema must not be the common denominator every time there is arguments when the committee is when there's fights in the committee. It must not always be Julius against PA, Julius against MK. Because I'm telling you, when the recommendations are going to be made and everything is going to, when they are closing the ad hoc committee, it's going to be Julius against the ANC and the DA. That one I can promise you, because those guys are going to vote that direction and do what is best for the GNU. And the MK and the EFF will be left out. At the end, the MK and the EFF will be left out. But anyway, that is my take, ladies and gentlemen. Tell me what you think on the comment section. And yeah, enjoy your weekend. It's Friday today. Until we meet again, don't forget to pray. But after you pray, stand up, African child. Do your best so that God can do the rest. Peace in Pan-Africanism. I salute you.